This is tried and true. These are family favorite recipes that we have grown to love over the years. My name is Laura at The Healing From Within, and today we are going to be talking about chili. So the story goes that my husband and son and my dad love chili, and we have collected a lot of recipes over the years. They have frequently competed in chili cook-offs, and so they were always trying to find that perfect one for the first place finish. And although they've never received a ribbon, we did come across a few recipes that we have grown to love. And that is one of them tonight, and it has a few secret ingredients, something that you really wouldn't consider for chili. So let's start making it. We're gonna start with a pound of ground beef, and we're just gonna put that in the skillet, and that's gonna be the first thing that we do, is we're just gonna brown this up. This is so good for this time of the year because it's cold outside. This is a hearty meal. You could certainly change this up some by using ground turkey. That would make it a healthier option for you. But I love this because this is one of those things where you are going to be able to throw everything into the pot and then put the lid on it and walk away from it. So with a few simple steps, you are able to create a meal for your family that is quick and easy, which I absolutely love. So while this is browning, we're going to take an onion, and let me tell you a little trick with the onion. I don't normally like to peel and chop up onions. That's just not one of my favorite things to do. So a few years ago, I found that they have chopped onions in the freezer. So I have been buying those ever since, because what I also found is with chopping the onion, I was wasting it. I would only use a little bit and then I would have to throw it out because it would go bad. So this way I can just keep it in the freezer and use it as needed. So to the pound of ground beef, we're gonna add 1 onion. We are also going to add 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. And then to this, we are going to add our spices. And this is where it gets a little bit different. So we have about a tablespoon of chili seasoning in here. And we also have a teaspoon of cumin. And we have a little bit of coriander. But the key, or the secret ingredient, so to speak, in here would be cinnamon. Now, you don't normally think to put cinnamon in your chili, but this just gives it a really good flavor. So we're going to put those spices in there, and we're just going to continue to stir as we sweat those onions down and the garlic. And can I tell you, this is such an amazing aroma. That cinnamon just really gives it a fantastic smell. So now that we have those combined, what we are going to add is 1 can of Rotel tomatoes. And we go with the spicy. We're not a real spicy family. We like a little bit of heat, but not a lot. But we like the mild version. So 1 can of Rotel, the mild. And then we are also going to add 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes. So we are just going to incorporate all of that. And then to this, you are going to add 2 cans of black beans that have been drained and rinsed, and 1 can of dark red kidney beans that have also been drained and rinsed. And you're just going to add that into it. Then to this, you will add tomato juice. And I found it over in the juice aisle. They have a whole series, you know where the V8 is. You don't want to use V8 for this, you want to use tomato juice. And if you can find the low sodium version, then definitely get that. but you want to add in about 6 cups of the tomato juice. So you're just going to add that in slowly. And then you're just going to give it a stir. Now you're gonna let this simmer for a while, and you're gonna bring it to a boil. Then you're gonna turn it down and put the lid on it, and you're gonna let it simmer for a couple of hours. So this is one of those things that you definitely want to make ahead, and then just put the lid on it. And then you will have your dinner prepped and ready to go. You can walk away, help the kids with homework, or do whatever you have to do. Now another secret ingredient in this is semi-sweet chocolate. And what you want to do is to get about 3 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. I found it over in the baking aisle. You just want to rough chop it. When this comes to a boil, you will add that chocolate in so that it melts, and you will just allow it to get happy. So when somebody tastes this chili, they're going to taste that cinnamon, they're going to taste that chocolate, and they're not going to be able to figure out exactly what you've put in here, which is good. So if you have a chili cook-off coming up, maybe you should try this recipe. And if you win, let me know. I would love to hear about it. So with our chili, this is all done. So we're just gonna let this continue to simmer. We're gonna slide this out of the way. With our chili, we love to have cornbread. And because I'm gluten-free, I don't normally get to eat cornbread. However, I did find a prepackaged version by Bob's Red Mill. I love their products, they're quality products. They don't have that gritty texture that gluten-free products normally do. So that is exactly what this is, the gluten-free cornbread mix, and I have just put that into a bowl. And to this, I'm going to add half a cup of butter. So that's 1 full stick of butter. And we're going to add 1.5 cups of milk. And we're going to add 2 eggs. So we're gonna put all of this in a bowl, and we are just going to whisk it up. Now, you could leave this cornbread plain just like this. It would be amazing just the way that it is. So you would just stir it up. It's going to be a little bit lumpy. So once you get it incorporated, you're gonna let it sit for a minute, and then you're going to want to re-stir this. But we wanted to change ours up just a little bit. And what we are going to do with this is I have some diced jalapenos. It's about 1.5 tablespoons. I am going to add those in. And with the diced jalapenos, I'm going to add about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of cheddar cheese that has been grated. And so you will just want to fold this in. With the gluten-free batters, I find that they have a tendency to be pretty thick. So you just want to keep that in mind if you buy a gluten-free product. You can add a tiny bit more milk if necessary, but you really shouldn't need it. So you can see how thick this is. So once we get this all incorporated, just like this, we are going to take a square pan that I have sprayed with coconut oil, and we are just going to put this batter into the pan, and then we are going to spread it out nice and even so that it will bake evenly. And then we are going to put this in the oven for the recommended amount of time that's on the package. So just like that, spread it out. We will push this to the side for the oven. So that is just how quick and easy this recipe comes together. You can see how it is, and this has come to a boil. So what I'll be doing is adding in this chopped chocolate, just like we talked about a few minutes ago. And you just want to let that melt, and then put a lid on it and let it simmer. And in a couple of hours, you are going to have an amazing hearty chili with cornbread for you and your family. This is the chili, it's all done. So all we will need to do now is to plate. It smells amazing. And our cornbread is done as well. You can see the jalapenos and the cheddar We're gonna add that to the side. And there we have it. Chili with those two favorite or secret ingredients and gluten-free cornbread that has jalapenos and cheddar in it. I hope that this becomes your favorite as well. Let me know if you try it, and let me know especially if you win a prize for entering a chili cook-off. So join me next time for another recipe, for another episode of Tried and True Family Recipes. Bye-bye.